Hello everyone, you're at the free space of J, and with some special times, at least for me in a time of hype, for what I want to add on to some more of a new coming game coming out, Pokemon Legends ZA. Gen 6 is one of the first regions that I've ever done, and the Mega Evolution concept has always been such an excitement to me, and it stays my favorite. So right now, with so many being introduced left and right at this point in time, and being 1 month before the game's release, I wanted to go ahead and see what I would be excited for, or in other words, hyped the most. So, I guess here's to almost 3 hours of me tier listing them. Enjoy watching. I think you can kind of see the idea of where I'm going at right here. I haven't shown off a whole lot of the slides yet, but basically I have all the fully evolved Pokemon set out for me already. I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way and not take up anyone's time here. But at least that's how I think the Megas are still going to work the way they did in this game. And I wanted to go ahead and leave the Megamons here too already up in front, just to give me a little idea of what there's already out there. Here we go. Up for ZA. Starting off with Butterfree. I don't know if I see there's a lot that can be done for her, and she's already got a Dynamax form too. Like, she's just more of like the status-inducing effect Mon that isn't really going to do much than what Beedrill already has. I could leave her in C for now. I guess on to Raticate. There's a lot that I really want to see out of the Rattite Pokemon. They're like Raticate. I don't really see a whole lot that you can do with a 2-stage evolution. Feels kind of more like that Pokemon that you're just gonna keep at the start of your team. Like, just to have there. I wouldn't really keep it though. Same kind of goes for Pharaoh. It's not very different from the Mega Pidgeot that there already is. What about Arbok though? I don't know if there's anything really I'd see about doing with the face. Looks like it could be a bit scarier though. Actually, all of the poison mons, I don't really think it would be too bad. Could at least set it like at Butterfree or higher. It's still a Kanto Pokemon though, so I could leave it there for now. I don't hate it too much. Sandslash would be a pretty cool one though. Where's another Groundmon that I really see on here? There's not a whole lot. Sandslash is a pretty memorable one that I think it already has like that cool energy that you have when you send it on the field first. Mega Nidoqueen kind of looks like it has a lot of room though. Oh, speaking of the Groundmons, that's actually a pretty cool one. Because any of the Pokemon that I hear have like either have the Queen or King status in their name, I feel there's a whole lot of power that you could even add more to it. I'm really liking that so far. But here's one that I've really wanted so far, even when I first had a sight to it, and it's Clefable. I don't know, I've just really been attached to like the tanky normal mons that are up there a whole lot, and Clefable is the one that always comes to mind first. And this actually looks like there's a mon there's a lot of mega room for. Like, it has like this whole origin that you can base it off of, like how it came from the moon and stuff. I don't know if that's how that went, but it sounds like a whole lot of like stuff you can actually do for its look. It's very cool. Ninetales, I don't know if I see for an actual Firemon though, that's just the pure way. Kind of like in the same place as Sandslash. I feel like I could move these ground type mons up first. Like, at least in A tier for now. I don't know what else is going to go up next to them, but they're in a higher place for Sandslash for now. I do want to think about that. What I just said about, like, the whole tanky normal types, here's Wigglytuff. I don't know a whole lot about it though. I guess anywhere around like the same defensive idea would be a cool mon to have a Mega for. I could at least put it in Butterfree for now. Like, for what Megas could have more like a cute look, that's something you could have a cool idea for. I don't know about Vileplume though. It's kind of the poison type, like the same as Vileplume, but Victory Bell is one that I really want that I don't know what I'm going to want in the place of that at this point. I could just be saying that because there's actually a lot of poison types that are in Gen 1 too. Parasect, I don't see a lot of room for it though. Actually, it could use a bigger mushroom. I don't really want to put too many in the D spot, but at the same time, it's like a 2-stage Evo. Venomoth sounds pretty cool though. It's kind of like Butterfree too, that has like that powdery ability to it, but it's more of the poison type. I don't know if I should put that in B or C. I don't know, I kind of went back on that whole cute type look Mega thing that I've talked about before. Here's Dugtrio. I feel like I've seen a whole lot of Mega ideas for this one, and it would be cool to like expand the number of like heads it could have even more, or do some other gimmicky with it that's actually buried into the ground too. So cool idea. Persian, I don't really see any way for him though. It's kind of like that plain cat look. It does have that gem on the top of its head though, but that's more of an idea that I've had for Golduck. See, this one actually has like more it could have from this red gem on the top of its head. That looks cool. I just think it's like the cool duck Pokemon for me. Kind of has that crown shape on it. Archetype, this is like a really cool pure fire type though. I would put it above Ninetales. And plus with that, it's actually called the legendary Pokemon. Huh, I don't really think I actually see another fighting water here. I almost thought that's what Mega Swampert was, but that's actually kind of a trick, because I think it just says the water ground, or what switches in it, if at all type, or any. But that's actually still a cool idea. Actually, I don't really see the Poliwrath being very different, though. Poliwrath is still a cool mon. I would put it along with a bunch of other blue Megas, potentially, but not a whole high lot. And I know Machamp already has a Gigantamax form. I highly doubt it's going to happen, especially when Machamp already has the Gigantamax treatment on it. It's kind of low for me. Actually, it would be kind of a cool pure fighting. Who knows, we might not see the end of him. Could put him above, right next to Poliwrath right there. Tentacruel's pretty cool. The more I think about it, the more I think this is actually like a pretty cool Pokemon for a Mega Kraken type. Do I want to think more about water-based Megas or no? This is still a pretty high one for me. Oh, I don't really know how to say it out loud, but it's kind of a cool rock type. I don't know how it's gonna be too much different from Tyranitar, but I guess I could like describe it as like not too like similar to like the Alolan like look that the Golem got, but more like bury around like the type of body it has and have it like armor its way around. It feels kind of weird to saying that with like the Megamons that we've seen recently, but I don't know, it's just got that same powery look to the Nidoking. Use Rapidash, this is a pretty cool one. I think, is there a way to put fire around the body more? Oh man, a lot of the classic fires are kind of attached on. You know, let's fix this really quick. Out of all the pure fire type mons that are actually in red, Arcanine really stands out to me. Farfetch, I don't see much though. Like, not as much as like it did with its with Leek when it's got its regional variant. I think I'm good. A Mega Seal? I'm kind of attached on this idea. Not to me, I don't want to skip too far ahead, but I've got a better one in mind. Put that in B for now. Dodrio, this one kind of feels special on me already. Like, it doesn't need any more heads, like, it's already got... Like, it should stay straight on when its actual name is set on, with just 3 heads. But, okay, yeah. This one's fine for me. I'll just set it down. I've been kind of thinking, this is another cool poison-type Pokemon, and... In my head, I kind of had like, this idea for, like, a radioactive waste that could actually change the whole color of him and make him a bigger sort of sludge pile. More of like the hazardous type of mon. But I don't know if that's kind of what they've already done for Victory Bell. It's kind of my idea. I'll put it at that. No, I don't see a whole lot of special room for it, not when there's already Glalie. Hypno, no thanks. We've already got a hypnotizing Pokemon right here. See right here? That's a special one that I've wanted for that reason. He can go at the low end. Kingler, another powery type Pokemon. And it's even got the King name, but it's already got that treatment with its Gigantamax form. Huh, kind of interesting to think about. This is actually more of a special Pokemon than you realize. Electrode's a cool type. We could use more of an explosive type to him. I don't know if there's ever something you can really do special about the kind of self-destruct moves, like I just said, self-destruct or explosion. I don't know about this one. I don't see how it would be too different from its Alola form. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave too much to him. How about Marowak? Like, it could have, like, more of a bone-type armor and stuff. Oh, here's all the Hitmones. It would be kind of cool seeing how it could adapt more on their style. I'm seeing kind of like, for a Pokemon like these that are in, like, many branches from what they start, it'd be weird, like, having, like, at least a stone name for every single one, like Hitmonlee, or what, but this is a high... interesting one for me. It could definitely go above Machamp. Well, let me put them all right here. Hitmontop, you could just imagine him spinning even more. How Hitmonlee right here, like, actually move like a quick attack or something, like, from its spinning phase. I don't know how else to say it, or visualize or what. Kind of one of the bottom poison types that I have. Yeah, let's put him down there. Seeking, that's kind of a weak fish type. I don't really want a whole lot more for him. What else do you see about Starmie, though? It's actually really cool looking. What's another body color type that you could give it if it were a Mega? Well, I guess I already have Golduck in that spot, though. You know I hear right about the 2 I've talked. Actually, hold on a second. Kind of visualizing this way here, but what if you could actually put, like, the invisible walls it makes or something into, like, some of its showing for, like, around its form, and kind of keep it, like, a hidden version on, like, the actual Mega Mr. Mime until you've actually seen what it's like upon defeat. Kind of a whole hypothetical, though, for me. I'll leave it low. Jinx, that's still a low one for me. Tauros, I don't see a way either. It's just that normal bull type. What else would I put in its spot, though? That kind of makes this, like, a special one, though. I don't know. Lapras, the one I really love. You've already got a Gigantamax form, though. Personally, one I've loved to see. Ditto, I don't know, do you need a Mega or do you not? It's gonna have a D for the one that it starts with. Here's all the Eevees coming up. I think it's kind of best for them if we just keep them down low respectfully on the list. You know, Eradicate doesn't deserve this high of a spot. You're down there. You know, we don't need this many stones for the whole family. They're special enough. I love them for that. Amistar and Kabutops. Not a big fan of these guys, but it would be kind of cool seeing my favorite fossil with some treatment on it, at least out of all of them. I'm putting Kabuto's higher up. That was my fossil choice always for my fire. I kinda doubt I see something for you. You're tanky enough, but you're right next to Wigglytuff just for the idea. Ooh, here's all the legendary birds. There's something special to be done for like some trio legendaries, but the birds are not one. It's just not my type of setup for them. I'm not a huge fan of the flying type, so I'll just leave it at that for it. How about Mew? I should say, I was just gonna bring up its ability to like learn almost any move. And just the fact that it's in relation to every Pokemon kind of gives it a lot of potential for. Right next to like, in the same way that Mewtwo has his own Mega, maybe we should see where he got that from. I almost forgot what starters were in this game for that could also have the potential Megas. But Mega might. I mean, not that, but just kind of Mega Neum. It's just kind of a weird thing for me. I don't hate the idea though. Alright, kinda cute enough, but you're a Pokemon that I like enough to put up here. You're my favorite rat type, let's just put him there. Oh, Leedian? Kind of that hero bug type, that's one of the top ones for me though. But kinda lower, it's not too different from the Leedian that's my idea. Crobat? Interesting type, like out of all the Pokemon specific, I'm gonna pick the one that's like out of its actual species, like Wombat Pokemon and the such. Lantern's a cool one for me though, too. And it's one of the only water-electric types that I could think of, so that's unique enough for me to want a Mega for it. Not more than Golduck, though. I've always just been a fan of the Natu line in general. Arguably like one of my favorite in like its color pattern style. Bellossom. Could use a cute upgraded look. How many other Mega Grass types are there? At least enough to make room for. Let's put it right next to Starmie. Azumarill. I don't really see like any of like the rat or mouse type Pokemon have like that enough power feeling in order to actually get at a Mega form. I feel like that should be a like certain classification for them too. It's still a cool Pokemon. Breloom, alright. Fighting Grass is pretty unique typing actually. Do we get that out of Chestnut though? I won't let that spoil the idea. This is for the fun of it. And I know Breloom is a more loved Pokemon that I'm not too familiar with myself, so I feel like he deserves some love more. How about right up the top of B? Actually A even. Huh. You know, right next to Lantern for it. Oh, it's Sunkern, it's kind of just a flower, it doesn't really need to stand out. I kind of want to take Unknown out of here right now. It's more of like that middle, like minion type Pokemon that I feel like should follow a certain someone else superior. Like more so another Pokemon that could have a Mega. That's gonna be the line for the very bottom type Pokemon. Quagsire though, I feel like he doesn't need the epic look, like he's just there for the goofiness. It would be pretty funny though. Slowking, I feel like if Slowbro has some treatment, like this is the split evolution Pokemon that should really get a Mega. Give him like a Royal Gown or something. Something else to go along with Water Psychic type. Is it really the king in its name that I want S tier though? I feel like I should explain more to come to it. Okay, you know what? Down one. Not really above Arcanine, but Fortress. I like the idea of like a Pokemon that could be made more into like a sturdy Fortress type, and if you could like bury this in the ground and have it like a bunker type for it to attack from, that would be a really cool one for me. Let's put it up on the high shelf of A tier. I am not a fan of Quillfish. Magcargo? Why do I see this being too different from Camerupt? Pokemon like this though, I feel like you could give it more of a feeling to like really tell that it's hot. Kind of like in the same way like Rapidash does if you just gave it like a slighter pink shade of skin. Corsola, I'm sorry to see this, but you are not the type that deserves that power-up. It's just the prey Pokemon that I know of. And Octillery too. More of like a type of Pokemon that you could really turn into a weapon. I don't know if I've touched on that yet. The move Octozuka is such a fitting way that you could like make Pokemon sound like they could use as a weapon or something. Ooh, Mantine. Make it more like a surfboard. Very interesting. Dugtrio is just going to be the bottom line for it. Kingdra now though. This is the King vibe Pokemon. Come on, it's the one special dragon out of all of its entire region. You could give it like a crown or like some other deep sea power to it. And it's like one that I could elaborate on. I never saw another elephant got a power form already. What if this was like the Gigantamax Copperajah of its region? Or of its game? Well, of course Kalos isn't going to be Donphan's region, but you kind of get the idea. How about Smeargle? You could kind of use a canvas for his moves. Kind of like his own gimmick, like kind of in the same way Mega Kangaskong has his own. It's just another Pokemon that I feel a need to love for. Ooh, we're coming up on the legendary dogs. Now this is the legendary trio I was talking about. I really want to see some more gimmicks for. I mean, I know we got the Paradox forms for it, but what if we saw more from the Ho-Oh boost for them? Speaking of which, Ho-Oh is kind of going to be high up on the list for it. Right here. Lugia's too. It's its opposite. It could be shared in the same way as Ho-Oh, but Ho-Oh is just kind of my reason for high up on the A tier. Ludicolo. What do you think is going to happen if he gets a Mega? He could just be a bit of a hairier coconut or something? No, a coconut doesn't fit him. He's more of like the pineapple man. But he's got that groove vibe to him. Ooh, Shiftry's actually a pretty good one. You know what? If you were to cover a Pokemon in fur for its Mega, that's the one I'd pick. Ludicolo does belong though. If there's something I can kind of like come up for like a Pokemon right away on like what its Mega could be, then that kind of deserves like a higher placement for a lot of potential. What if there was a way to make it even more angry? Oh, I forgot Venomoth was up here. If that's the case, I kind of want ideas for like a cooler Mega Bug type. Is this kind of the Intimidation one for out of its whole typing? If that's so, then that kind of deserves something. I'm thinking, what if it was kind of like more fit into its ninja setting? Like, even like a Black Mask or something. Not the same for Shedinja. It's special enough on its own as just a Pokemon with the 1 HP tactic. I wonder if there was like a certain way this Pokemon, like the sort of its own gimmick, could still actually go up to the Megas though. Exploud is one of my favorite normal types. I was gonna say, well, I almost already said Mega. That explains why I wanted so much for it. Give them like that burst ability of the sound waves. I'm kinda tempted to go to Wailord already. But this is a cool one for a Pokemon that's so big. Like, there's something to make it even more lordy. Like the same way that I want for the Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Let's put him right along with all its aquatic life. This feels kind of embarrassing for me to say out loud, but in like the type of its theme, the same way it could be like the Mega counterpart to Mega Gengar, just weaponize them out. I'll leave it at that. Binda, no. You're gimmicky enough, already known for your many, many patterns. That's something you could leave enough. Ooh, Flygon's up next? I've been waiting to add this little trick up. I've heard there's an idea for this one already, and there's nothing more deserving from that. For all the people that have been asking for so while, this is the spot that I put for you. I want Mega Flygon too. I don't know why these two specifically are like the Pokemon that feel like have so much Kalos energy. It's a Pokemon that you could add a lot of threat feeling to. Ooh, Claydol. Very interesting one. I don't know if we've heard a whole lot of story to this guy, but if there is something for it, then it could deserve like more of it to spread in like the form of a Megamon. All the fossil mons together, I'm kind of deciding on which one of them all are going to deserve the Megas most. Would love them actually, really. Is that a foreshadowing S tier? Ilotic would be pretty cool though. Kind of in the same way Lapras, it's a sea beauty. Well, if Gigantamax Lapras was a thing actually, then it could use a counterpart for that as a Mega. Fast Foam. I don't know actually. How Pokemon that have like the different forms and everything are like going to work in case they do have a Mega, but I do think all of the mons that are like that, Cast Foam isn't the one to get, it's going to get it. You know what? You're cute enough. You get the C-spots right next to my face. Tropius, this kind of feels like it's the grass of the Lapras. And you could give it a cool Mega form actually. Walrein. Alright, this is the seal Pokemon that I've been looking of. Like, look, it's got like that wavy extra look into it. It's just like such an epic ice type Pokemon, and I really love the seal line even. And plus Mega is my favorite mechanic of them all, then I'm really gonna want to see it mixed in with my favorite ice line. For all the Reggies, I don't think these are the guys really deserving of it. There's a cool idea that I want out of them, but it's not for them specifically. Any Pokemon that's above Shedinja, those are the mons that I've respectfully put down here. Jirachi, ooh. Out of all the mythical Pokemon that would deserve a Mega, I think Jirachi is the one. Put its wishing power to more good use. Deoxys too? If it's still going to be considered a rival to Rayquaza and such, then all of its different forms, like the Cast Foam mechanic that I've mentioned, it would be a cool way to show off a lot of different Mega designs for it. So Deoxys is a cool one. And Torterra. Out of this line of starters, this is a kind of a cool one that I'd want to see Megas for. Regarding the starters, I'm sure I've seen like concepts somewhere of like every starter could actually have their own Megas and whatnot, but Torterra is just a special case for me. Or Empoleon too far from it, even though Infernape is my starter choice for the region. I think Luxray is a really cool one though. You know what? You're one of my fave electric lines. How about right next to all your dog buddies? As much as I love it, I really wanted this one, but we got Mega Victory Bell instead, so if there was a cool idea, I'd still love to see it. Ooh, now this is a fossil line that I'm really liking. Like, we don't really need another Mega Pokemon just to represent the Sword and Shield, but I think there'd be a lot of cool ideas for them. And then Wormadams, if it's gonna be the female line that's kind of like spread out evenly in its own way, then these guys don't really need Megas. The male Mothim, though, this is kind of one that I feel special about. Like, I've seen like how its rarity feels like in the anime, and I feel like it could deserve even more special treatment for it. Vespiqun's one that I really want, though. I don't know why I love this bug so much. Like, if it's gonna be queen of all, it kinda deserves a reason for it. Floatzel, put a Pokemon into the form of a Mega for a giant safety raft. Like a boat Pokemon that could carry others to safety. Since I already came up with an idea for it, I think this kinda deserves a high tier. Put him up in high C for it. Gastrodon, another one I'd love. I would love to see, like, color variation Megas too. Miss Magius, first we've had a Pokemon that like expertises in hypnosis. What if we had her like as an expertise like more in her illusion type abilities? That's something you could put like right next to Slowking. Very interesting. How many more do we have to go? Quite a whole lot. I'll leave it at that. I know it's not going to get a Mega, but still. Spiritomb could be a really cool one though. Like, of the Pokemon that you go of like a lot of ways in order of like collecting, you gotta have like more of a reward for, I feel, for that. So Spiritomb, let's see you put all those souls that you have in you to good use. It's a good Pokemon too, with not a whole lot of weaknesses. I think it could use some buffs. I'm a Weavile. I'm kind of in a neutral mood about them though. It's a cool mon, like one that I see referenced a lot, so I think it could use even more treatment. If this guy got a Mega, I feel like it wouldn't really do it any better. Like how Mega Garchomp got treated. Despite what I've been thinking about, like the other Pokemon that like evolved this special way, I don't know how else to put it, but it's not one that would hype me very much to think about. And it's a shame to say too, because I feel like it's one of those more powerhouse mons that should be that threatening way. But for these two guys, I would actually love to see. Like, Electivire is such like a hype electric type for me. I used to use him a lot. And with Magmortar being like kind of its rival, I wouldn't want any other way for it other than S. Now these could really be some powerhouse, like pure types too. Togekiss could be a cool Pokemon though. Like even though it's like a Cynthia Pokemon that if all those top Pokemons are just going to get Megas, then it kind of just feels like they're being overhyped a bit. Like I don't want to say that I hate Togekiss for it, but it's a cool Mon. You know what? Since it's even more of a unique idea than the pure fire ones, I'll go ahead and put them there for it. Fly Score, interesting ground flyer. And it's probably one of the only one of its kind too. So that could be kind of hype for a mega if it gets one. It would kind of feel funny seeing another stage of this guy. Even cool, like a whole new stage in like the computer processing. I'd put that as a high mod just for it. Dusknoir is one of my favorite ghosts though, so just for that, I'm gonna say I would love to have a mega for it. Oh, actually wait, this is another split evolution I would love to see a mega for. Like, in like the first set of this game, we got the Mega Glalie. Now for the continuation of it, we'd want to see the other variation of the Mega for it. So that's kind of a hype one. I feel like I'm setting a lot of ghosts in actually. Regigigas, this one feels just a whole lot special to me. Like even though it's not likely to appear, like Mega Regigigas, like the boss of all its own Regis, would just be a cool idea. Giratina, you kind of have your own little special origin form too. And we've already seen special stuff about you in Legends Arceus, so you don't need anything else. Actually, yeah, I just realized that they're all called origin forms too. So yeah, you don't need it. Fiona, respectfully, you're gonna go down here because there's another Megamon that I'd really love to see if it does happen. It's just my own personal opinion, but a Mega Manaphy would be cool for the Prince of the Sea Pokemon. A Mega Transformation can just be put in to give them like their own little glamour too, like in the same like Mega Diancie got her Mega form. Then I would love to see it get even more beauty out of a Mega. How about Cresselia or Darkrai? This is actually some pretty cool ones that I'm thinking of. A manifestation of like the Dream and Nightmare Pokemon. About Shaman, I don't really feel a whole lot. Like, I think this is the one that I'd be pretty disappointed of if like this was the mythical out of all of them in order that just got a Mega. Wait a second. There's no origin form for Arceus though. Who wouldn't say that the god Pokemon himself would want to give himself a Mega? Even better idea. And I'm just realizing a lot of the Pokemon up here are like mythical and special for a reason. The developers just made them that way. Like how Victini specifically was like the very first mon of the Gen 5 decks and everything. So what else could you do to ensure that they would always win something? Extra Drill? Now this is the mon that I'd want to see like put more work on like all the drills on. Like give it like a whole suit of armor and everything and like make it weaponize them and everything. Leavanny, I think this is just grass bug, which I don't think would be too much of like the good typing wise to use in battle. But now for this next bug, this is actually like one of the epic Pokemon like of the bug type that I've seen. Until I actually saw it again, I actually forgot like how cool it was for its time. But if you need an even bigger, like I say a mega worm type, I'd put it high up for it. Crocodile though? I'd kind of like it to see actually have the Mega. Darumaka though? Pretty interesting mon. And kind of interesting tactic too. I feel like one of the only mons that have like the differentiating like mega forms. It's angry in the calm mode. I don't know how. I doubt that'd really go into like an X and Y mega split evolutions. But it's still a cool one to think about regardless. Propagrigus? Is there something more that we could see out of the King's Tomb? Could be a good one. Oh, this is like, I think it's what, like another signature team Pokemon too? I think it was Geetsis or whatnot. But again, it's kind of like what I kind of see on like an evil team leader have like a Megamon for. Which for that, I've got to give it a lot of credit. So how about right under the starters? Ooh, I think this is the Mega Archetype fossils that I really want to see a Mega set for. This is a turtle that I'd really love to see get a Mega Power Sweeping Power Boost, and Archeops I know is a loved fossil. And it's kind of got that wild attitude too, so see it get set even more so. Zorua, I've really seen like a cool concept of this, of like an old fan game that could even have like an awesome reveal to it. That'd be kind of cool to see get an actual work on. This is a good one, like how it's all like built around like the whole cell body and stuff. Let's see it expand even more and get like a golem figure. Oh man, that's actually so cool. I'm getting hyped up just talking about it. I want this now. Vanilla? Like, it's kind of like that old question, would I want even more ice cream on my cone? Of course I would. So since it's a cool ice type too, I kind of have to put it up here. Excalibur though, is that the name I think it's called? Again, I feel like this is kind of like a hard Pokemon up to attain, like, just from pure leveling it a lot, but it's another Pokemon that you kind of get like high rewarded for like its usability too. So I wouldn't hate to see a Mega for it. Oh, wait a minute. I completely forgot about this guy. These two like kind of come in a set even. Out of all the ones too though, this is like a really cool one that I want to see get like a blackened and like the form of night type of Pokemon get a Mega. And right next to its fellow bug. Alvantula, I think that was the name. Kinda unique. Kind of a popular pick too. Electros. If this could actually be made into like a water electric Pokemon, then I'd like that even more than Lantern even. Where are they actually? They can go right there for it, but I want to see the sea in this, like the water in this Pokemon, come out even more. Ooh, Chandelure, what do I have to say about this? This is a cool Pokemon already, and it would be cool if it actually got a Mega. You know, right along with the fellow ghosts. Actually, what other fire ghost can I actually think of other than this? I actually have to put him even higher up for that idea. And I actually haven't thought too much about like all the pseudo-legendaries until I actually got to Haxorus. Even though I'm sure if like many people are like opposed to the idea of like dragon-type legendaries that need even more power than they already have, but I'm not opposed to like seeing that even more cool of a look in them. In my personal opinion, I think every pseudo-legendary could use a Mega. And that'd just be like a cool concept to see. Triagonal, that's the name of this one. But whenever I think about this one, I kind of think like, wow, this has to be like one of the plainest mon that I've ever seen, and I just want it to stay that way. Like, it just doesn't need anything else. Ooh, Golurk? I actually have a cool idea for this one. Does anyone remember how you saw ZA out in the trailer? I'm pretty sure this was like his ace Pokemon too, so we'd have to see a Mega for that if it does happen. And this is cool, it's like the big giant like attacker that you get hyped whenever you see. And it's a ghost type too even, so there's that. It'd be a cool Ghostmon to Mega up. Volcarona though. This mon just feels so special to it, like it needs even more work, like we've got its past and future forms, and how like it's such a memorable bug fire type and everything. Give it even more specialty. Forgot what this, it's not really a trio anymore because of what got added in, but it feels like their alternative forms and like showing like their true selves are just already there. Reshiram, oh, I've got something to tell you guys about this, but for now, these two halves don't really need anything. And now Kyurem, something that he's always deserved. So, what I have to say about Kyurem is, it's not really going to be like the same Mega in the sense as like all these guys I would want to have for it, but if you see what I've already added onto my Mega list, Even though it wouldn't be fine for like this Legends game specifically, but like for a later one, you see how like Ultra Necrozma got like the fused halves and like everything added up to its ultimate form? That's like the mega and kind of sense that I would really want to see for Kyurem that I put up on here. It's just a need for us to finally see like the one true dragon, to be like added in like that kind of sense of mega form, or whatever you'd want to call it. Do we really need to add anything to Keldo for that? I mean, he already has like his own specific like kind of buff form, like that sword that hangs out on his head extension. I've been having my eyes on Carbink for a while too. This is like the definition of a servant Pokemon over to Diancie, so they don't really need anything else. Genesect is a really cool bug type Pokemon though. I mean, as we've seen in like the Battle Mega Mewtwo, I'd love to see like something get added for this legendary. I put him above Golduck even though. Let me go ahead and leave this one down here too, because I actually have quite an idea for its male counterpart. And it's kind of like in the same idea that I had for Vespiquen, but it's not one that I want just as much for it. But like what I had in mind, like having like more energy just behind the mane and everything. Gorgeous would actually be a pretty cool Grassmon though. And like add even more beauty for like its variety of color forms. I would love that. Meowstic? This is actually one I really want. One of my favorite psychic types even, but I don't feel like the Pokemon official channel has been like showing off the Esper line too much for just no reason, so I'm really hoping that's something that comes out for them. There's just a set of mons that I love too much. Aegislash. This one's actually pretty cool. Not that I think it would really need a Mega form though. It'd be cool to see Aegislash actually take on the Mega Mons himself, even without it. Like, you kind of just think they don't even need it in order to be a challenge to them. Why else would you want to call it the King's Blade after all? And I think I've kind of thought about Clawitzer before, but make its big, giant, like, cannon arm have even more of a use. I'm kind of like thinking of this one like a lot more than like the other ones I've kind of put in the weapon type category. You know what, not behind the whole moon representative Pokemon concept. Ooh, but now we actually got the fossil mons for their respective regions, so these would be some pretty cool ones. You know what, right next to my Kabutops. I would love it. Revenant? Okay. Redwood tree type mega. I don't know, that just sort of came to mind, like more of like a monster tree than it already is. Make it that. Not a bad bat to pick either. Kind of attached to the idea of like a mega bat Pokemon now. How about the legends of this respective box art game though? It wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I've already got one set of them up here, so why not? Pokemon of life and death need to be thought about more. Koopa though, kind of the little guy running the DLC of the game, but he's already got his Unbound form, and he's got all that power loaded in him already in said form, so probably won't need it as much as the other box legendaries actually, but it wouldn't be too bad. So how about we set him right there? Ooh, time for my favorite region now. These are some starters I love out of all of them, so they're gonna get the top treat. Oh wait, I already forgot they already have their like own set of like specific mechanics too, because there's already the Z power going for them. I guess I'd kind of be fine with leaving them alone. Vikavolt, huh? Not a bad bug Pokemon I'd like to have a Mega. How many did I put in this tier actually? It wouldn't be a bad one either. It is kind of a bug type Pokemon too though, so I guess they couldn't be made too much for power. Let's leave him right up here. And Beware is enough of a threat on its own. He needs no Mega. One of the main Pokemons I've used on my Alola teams. And that it's kind of like a queen in its own way too. Like how I want like one Pokemon specifically, like out of all the kings in its name, to be a Mega form, I feel like that could be said for this arena too. I feel like it's kind of got like that own kicking power too, like its own like way of martial arts like Hitmonlee or these guys. Deliciopod. I'm kind of debating on this one for either A or S tier though, because it's one of my favorite bug type mons too, but I think Volcarona's already taken the spot. Let's go and get ahead and give him a high 8 spot. And Mimikyu, kind of another gimmick form that I would want to see how a Mega would handle it work, but I'm kind of doubting the idea of it really happening. Marshadow, though. My favorite ghost has to go somewhere up high. How about right up here? If I was gonna put it up with Ho-Oh, then as the rival I've kind of seen up with it in the movie, then how could I not want him here too? I feel like kind of the same could be said for this mon too, but I don't even remember the name enough to say I think we've only got 2 more gens to go. But here's another line of starters. Flapple, this is actually a pretty cool line. So I wouldn't be too upset to see more be done with them. Wait, especially Hydrapple though? That's my favorite out of all of them, so he's gotta get a higher place up. Anaconda? Ooh, this is actually a pretty cool snake Pokemon that I think about. Out of all the snakes, I kind of want Superior the most though. Atrium? Huh, I actually haven't even thought about more fairy type mons that could use more Mega Evolutions. And I know this has already got the gimmicky form of its own region too. So there's that, but I'm not too opposed to the newer mons having like more of a different one. I just think the Gigantamax Grimmsnarl is already cool enough though. Then we got really some different types of Pokemon between the sword and armor. I could see it working out for these guys even though it's not really one that I'm really attached to. They deserve a high spot. Palafin. Alright, is this kind of the same kind of gimmicky form that we'd really see with Darumaka? What if this had if Palafin actually had a Mega, you probably wouldn't see it at first like this little Finizen looking way. And then, once it's through like disguise and everything, that's where you actually see the whole outburst of the Mega form. That's actually such cool sounding now that I think about it. Ooh, King Gambit though. This was actually a cool evolution added for me. And actually could be a cool steel type to Mega Evolve. I'm thinking about it, I don't think I did a whole lot. Right? Ooh, this one though? Of all the reward Pokemon that we would want, or at least I would want, out of all the ones that we've seen, you could give this a bigger gold pile. Or more to that of like its whole representation and stuff. Its symbol, do more of its attack with like money, and I think that's everything I've set through here. I kind of want to scroll through this slowly, just to like keep it out for everyone. Just leaving my whole tier list out there. And I'm really hoping that everyone out there enjoyed seeing it be done so. So thank you so much for watching, and here's the hopes out that all of the Pokemon up in my top actually get these Megas.